Ready? Okay. There you go.
When you grow up, what will you be? She grows, she learns, she improves. Her interest is growing. Her passion is growing stronger. She grows in confidence. This is where ambition grows, where potential grows, and where your future grows. Good morning, everyone. Today we're going to learn about the sky at night. Cambridge is where your world grows.
El Gobierno del Estado de San Luis Potosí, la Secretaría de Educación del Gobierno del Estado, el Sistema Educativo Estatal Regular, a través de la Benemérita y Centenaria Escuela Normal del Estado, y en colaboración con el Departamento de Idiomas, les damos la bienvenida al Encuentro Nacional de Idiomas 2023. Como inicio de este encuentro, Cambridge nos compartirá la conferencia Bite-Sized Learning and Communication, presentada por Juan Manuel Pérez. Juan Manuel Pérez has worked as an English teacher, interpreter, translator, and academic coordinator for over 19 years at different schools and companies, teaching English at all levels. He holds a degree in English language teaching. He has developed and implemented English programs and teacher training courses. Bienvenido, Juan Manuel.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for this invitation on behalf of Cambridge University Press and Assessment. Thank you for having us here. So I'm glad today is a beautiful day so we can start with the session about bite-sized learning and communication. Welcome to this session and let's start. All right, thank you for that welcoming. Today we will discuss bite-sized learning and why it should be considered one of the most important approaches now more than ever. I will share some examples of bite-sized tasks that you can use with your students immediately in these days, and we will reflect, basically we will reflect on what is it, how can we launch these activities in the class and outside the class. For today, we have a definition. We'll reflect on what is it and basically the contemporary life of the students because that's very important. An important thing is why students are moving to this approach and why we need to adapt as teachers to this lifestyle of the students. We will talk about the benefits and some other considerations that I will present. And specifically at the end of this session, the last part, I will give you examples on how to focus on specific language skills. All right, so let's start with the agenda of today. So thank you again. And what is it? All right. So sometimes we say, what is bite-sized learning? And the first time I heard this bite-sized, I immediately came up with this definition related to food, right? Because it is the size of a bite, and we're speaking specifically about snacks, all right? And you know that sometimes people translate things literally, and let me give you an example. If you Google this, if you go to Google and type in bite-sized learning, in Spain, you are going to find them as snacks of learning. And what is the most popular snack in Spain? They call them tapas. It is the beauty. Tapas de aprendizaje is what they call it. How would you call them in your state? How would you call them in Mexico, in other parts of the world? That will be interesting to know what your favorite or the most popular snack is in your state. We also call this micro learning, right? Bite-sized learning. We call it speed learning, right? So it's basically this new approach. An important characteristic of this is that it takes into account new demands of students' lifestyle. What is the student's lifestyle? We can start by saying they're always on their telephone. All right. So it is based on short but focused activities with the explicit aim, the explicit objective of increasing this learner's knowledge and skills for a specific target. In this case, is learning English, improving, practicing your English skills. All right. So micro learning, speed learning, or bite-sized learning are teaching strategies that we are going to implement inside the classroom and outside the classroom to engage our students in a more realistic content. And this will be in small and very focused chunks. Chunks of learning, pieces of learning. And if we translate that into a lesson plan, that will be stages of learning. Mhm. So, we can do this in live or face to face classes. So, imagine that we could break any activity into small stages, scaffold this learning. So, bite size is as simple as it sounds, right? Breaking down e-learning content, all right, into if we speak about food, I was telling you about food, these will be digestible chunks, which is easier for learners to work through because they could learn at their own pace and at the time it suits them, right? So microlearning, it makes much easier for learners to fit into the busy schedules. And I'm speaking about busy schedules not because they have to do lots of homework or because they work, because they are busy on other things, all right? So why are they busy on other things? So this would be the contemporary lifestyle of the students. So students here multitask, right? So it actually hinders, we can say hinders the long periods where they need to be focused on studying. It blocks this time, right? It makes it smaller and smaller the time they spend learning in the classroom. Why? Because they always are on their telephones, right? Are you on your telephone right now? Maybe we are, right? I'm actually taking a glance of my telephone every time maybe I get a message or something. So I just look at it. So maybe you're on your telephone right now. You're watching this session. Maybe you're also listening to the radio. Maybe you're listening to news. Maybe you have your TV on. Maybe you're speaking to another person next to you. All right. So we understand that learners at the same time need to balance their studies with other responsibilities, with other social activities. They have lots of social activities nowadays. So learners need need to learn how to fit this learning style, e-learning style in their modern life, right? So they say that the human brain is not designed to pay attention for long hours. We learn best when we deliver this content in short spaced periods. And that will help us consolidate the learning in the long-term memory. So we make it meaningful, right? So bite-sized learning is not just for education. It is the latest, the newest in training because it is the way the average modern young learner, young adults, teachers function in everyday life, in their everyday life. In fact, this bite-sized format looks pretty much, it resembles the content of social media, right? So picture this. When you go to Facebook or Instagram or TikTok, they show you tasks, challenges, articles, activities, photos, short videos, everything very attractive and rich in content. That's bite-sized learning. That is a bite-sized activity where you need to pay attention and learn from it in seconds, in minutes, in a period of 10, 20, 15 minutes. So in a sense, we can say that we are living bite-sized lives. Isn't that incredible to say? Reflect on this, please. We are living bite-sized lives, short periods, multitasking and quickly changing between modes of work, traveling, socializing, even series. In the past, television chapters of soap operas lasted an hour. Now they are 10 minutes, 15 minutes. So we can say that as a result, learning needs to happen everywhere, not just in the classroom, but everywhere. I found this article. It's from Elucid that it's a blog that I found that I want to share with you. Let me put it on screen here. The website is this. If you want to Google it, it's Elucid that. Well, that's where I found the blog. And I found this article about the profile of the modern learner. And it's very interesting because, check, let me make it a little bigger. The modern learner. Isn't this an accurate picture? They have iPads, they have computers, they have telephones, right? They are overwhelmed and distracted. In a typical working week, speaking about young learners, they spend this time on meetings or maybe in a class, on emails, being interrupted, right? So, here, speaking about working stage. Interesting, right? Let me go to the gadgets and technology stage, right? Here it is. This is very interesting, right? When would you learn? When you need it, on your weekends, on your desk, during breaks, or when commuting. Actually commuting to school, to your work. And this is not just for students, as I was telling you, it also happens to us teachers, right? How many times do you turn to your telephone? There's actually this report every Sunday, right? You get a report on how much time you spent on screen in your telephone. You can go to your telephone settings and tell us how much time you spent on your telephone this week. 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 5 hours, 10 hours, I don't know. 10 times an hour. Isn't that too much that you look at your telephone every time? Well, imagine students in the class. All right? So, here, I think this blog is very, very interesting. So, we can say that in the past, we didn't allow students to use their telephones in the classroom. Now, I think it's a very big necessity. So why not, instead of banning the use of telephones in the classroom, we could use them in benefit of learning, so students can practice and learn in a more meaningful way. If that's what they love, if that's what they like, because it involves your feelings, use it. Because automatically it will go to your long-term memory. Every learning that is meaningful, and I'm speaking about emotions, every learning that involves an emotion is meaningful. It could be laughter, it could be sadness, it could be happiness, it could be excitement, it could be interest, I don't know. But if it touches an emotion, it provokes a feeling, it's meaningful. And believe me, students love their telephones. All right? And then we can go to different apps. What is your favorite app and everything. I read this, I also read this article by Dr. Mary Jamichael, all right? And she says, learning needs to be situated, informal and personalized. And I like this quote a lot. I really found this quote very, very interesting, all right? So, Dr. Mary Jamichael, By the way, she's a full professor in chair language learning at the University of uh, Groningen, I think is the right pronunciation, in Netherlands. And she has a paper where she describes this, what I'm showing you. Learning needs to be situated, informal, and personalized. And teaching, in turn, needs to be centered, student centered. But we need to adapt things. We need to make a lesson plan. We need to check the timing and everything. So it needs to be tailored to both the individual learners' needs and their language level. We cannot just go and do so. We need to have a deeper understanding on how to support learning in all the environments and contexts, and we need to adapt to this new era of technology and social networks. And I'll give you some examples in a minute, right? So this is the age of technology and social media, the one that we're living right now. So we cannot just teach with the printed book. We need to have students learn from the tools they have available and handy around them, all right, such as the podcast, the YouTube videos, other apps, many different apps, social media apps, and they can learn from Instagram, from TikTok, from Twitter, from Facebook, everywhere, right? So Dr. Michael points out that we need not to just be the source or lecturing students all the time, right? We need to be able to source out, to categorize those tools, right? So we also need to judge the pedagogic value of those tools, right? So we need to understand when and how to use them all right? So that will be a little more interesting. By the way, let me show you the paper so you see um, where exactly I got this paper from. Let me, well, I'll show it to you in a minute, but this is very interesting. Just type in the the name of this important uh, article. Where am I? Here. There you go. So Dr. Mary J. Michael, very interesting if you want to read it. What is the benefit of promoting or fostering this bite-sized learning approach in the classroom? All right, so first we would need to say automatically that it increases learner attention, all right? So we need to consider, as I was telling you at the very beginning, this way of learning, all right, which is both effective and engaging, all right? So learners are more likely to remember information when it is presented, as I was telling you, with this attention span in small, digestible, consumable chunks, small pieces of information, right? So suitable for any type of training, refresher training, right? So if we speak about food, as I was telling you, let's give them nuggets of information, right? So in this small and efficient way to respond to evolving environments, right? So when you think that the course is going to be too tough, too difficult, or maybe too boring, give it, break it into small pieces, right? Suitable for any training, right? Improved student engagement. We know that, right? Because if they love their telephone, if they're love going to Facebook, to Instagram, to Twitter, to TikTok, why not learning, right? From that. So bite-sized learning would increase the students' engagement. It suit the habits of their modern busy lives. Busy on their telephones, right? So it enables learners to let's say guide themselves through learning at their own pace, and that's very important. Whenever they want, right? With any gadget or any tool they have in front, at any time they like it, wherever they are, right? provides transferable insights because we can say that they would apply what they learn straight away. If they, for example, role play, if they practice a role play with a conversation on any app or social media, they would immediately transfer that role play to real life situation, right? So it gives the students this information that they need to put into practice on the spot immediately. So that's also something very important to consider. Other considerations, and let's zoom up a little bit. So explicit instruction, remember we said that? Explicit instruction in the definition and focusing on attention. With this combination of very specific instruction and having students very engaged, we are going to create a very positive effect on the learning of students, meaningful learning of students, as we said it, right? So these are other considerations that we need to take into account and support for this bite-sized approach in teaching and learning, because it's not just learning, but the attention span, sorry, the amount of focused attention we can give to something is limited. And you can Google the attention span of different ages. For example, for little babies, we can say seconds. For students in lower primary, we can say 3 minutes, 2 minutes. Higher primary levels, maybe it's 5 minutes. Middle school, middle school they don't pay attention. Middle school they just pay attention and they select out. They say that if it's interesting for me, I will pay attention. All right. So the attention span in teenagers has to do a lot with the level of engagement. All right. Well, breaks. Learning is more effective with breaks between repetitions. Okay, that will be something very nice because maybe we can switch to a different app and then move to a different app and then give it a break and then come back to the class and retake it. Real world, because motivation and attention are improved when learning content relates closely to real world context. What is more realistic than using an app if you have to, I don't know, describe a place or give I don't know, a synopsis of a movie, play the trailer. If you have to criticize a new restaurant, go to the restaurant, order something, take a picture of the menu, upload your critique to the restaurant there, right? So, time and complexity. More complex content requires more processing time, right? So, bite-sized learning embraces the fact that language is everywhere, and it's immediate, it is real, right? And it's specifically in this age of internet, there, one click away, right? So this is a good tip in this session. Make opportunities for learning available to your students. Real opportunities, meaningful opportunities. We can speak about this situational approach where you would set up a situation and make it very realistic and everything, but one step ahead is taking it to real life. Situational approach is good in the classroom, but realistic, real learning will be bite-sized, right? With the social media use in apps. As teachers, we need to know how to make these opportunities for learners, excuse me, available, right? So the activities, the tasks, the stages can take many, many forms. It could be a game-based app. It could be flipping your classroom, all right? It could be material that you take before the class, right? It could be giving them a real task, right? So focusing on real specific content. And that's why we are going to analyze some tips of bite-sized learning tasks, focusing on specific language skills, reading, listening, writing, interacting or speaking, with vocabulary, with the grammar. I am going to give you an example of each one of them. Are you ready? Let's go. Bite-sized tasks focusing on specific language skills. Maybe you can take a screenshot of this one. All right? Reading. If we're going to apply, I don't know, a bite-sized task in the class because we have a reading plan, okay, this is the suggestion. In order to add the bite-sized task, this is what we could do. Scroll through news items, tweets, go to Facebook posts of the news today, or of some friends, of some pages that you follow, and focus on words and expressions you don't know. Obviously, you need to select, you need to sort out, choose what's the perfect level for your students. Because if it's very, very difficult, it's going to be very frustrating or challenging for them, right? Find content that suits their level, even if it's very basic. Read a short news article or story and then summarize it verbally for someone you know. Hey, I just read this article about the fake news or something, or about an important case that is happening right now in New York. I don't know, right? So if we want to adapt this and take it to the book, I understand that you're using, most of you are using Cambridge Interchange book. So let's try to adapt this, right, to one of the readings of the book. And let me show you my book, because we said reading, right? So here, this is my interchange book. In case you would like to know the level and everything, let me go to my book here, so I can show you here. There you go. In case you would like to know the book, this is the book that I will show you today. Interchange, 5th edition, level 1. A very famous book. And let's adapt that reading. Let's say Unit 1, all right? Unit 1, but let's go to the final activity where we have the reading. All right, let me go all the way to reading. There you go. What's your name? Look at the names in the article. Are any of the names popular in your country? What similar names can you think of? All right. And you can think of the different ways of adding this task before the reading, all right? Or maybe you can send it as a homework and flip it, or you can use it after the reading, and you can try to compare the content and everything. So the first here suggestion that I am going to give you is go to Google and find anything that is related to the topic, right? If you go to Google, I promise that you're going to find everything there, all right? If you type in any topic, you're going to find it, all right? So the name of the article was actually, is your name trendy? Is your name trendy? And the question was, are any of the names popular in your country. So I typed in Google popular names in Mexico, and I found this 150 popular Mexican names and other names in Mexico for boys and girls, right? So if you scroll down, what I liked about this website, this blog, is that it's easy to read, and some students are just gonna go directly to their names and try to find the definition, right? So for example, who do we have here today? Let's find a popular name. Oh, Mateo is a very popular name right now. If you say Mateo in a primary school, 12 boys are going to turn around. Coming in second is Mateo, pronounced Mateo in Spanish, right? The Spanish form of Matthew. It's a name for a boy, right? And it is very popular. In the United States, it had a rise of popularity in the 2010s, right? Matthews means gift of Yahweh in reference to Hebrew God. Okay, there you go. Gabriel, Santiago, Angel, Jose. I think Jose is very popular, right? A classic Latin American naming, Jose relates to the name of Joseph, which has popular variations in several other European languages. It means, may God add to. Oh, that's good. So students are not going to read all the article, but they're going to go directly to Juan. My name is Juan Manuel. This simple and classic name is a strong and traditional one that means gracious or merciful. I am going to take note of that to share with my colleagues. It's a form of the English name John. All right. So there you go. Popular girl names in Mexico: Olivia, Luna, Elena, Ana, Gabriela, Sara, Maria, Isabel, Adriana, Andrea. Okay, there you go. Adriana. The meaning of this evocative name is dark. The name is the feminine form of Adrian, which was the uh, moniker of six popes and several saints. Pronounced Adrian, well, we know the pronunciation, rolling the R like Adrian. Not Adrian, but Adrian. There you go. So it's just an example of how we can make this bite-sized activities inside the classroom or outside the classroom. Why do we need to add this to the reading? So we can make the reading more meaningful, right? And then we can go directly to our reading here, right? Some people have names that are very unusual and unique. Think of the actresses, Emily Blunt, for example. Her daughter is Hazel, okay? Violet, Alicia Keys has a son named Egypt. Okay, there you go. Popular names for boys. There you go. Ooh. All right. And then when students are reading, they could actually relate, compare, contrast, give their opinions, and say, "Oh, I remember my name is this. Oh, I remember this. This was very popular. This was very. This is a very unique name, etc." So you can make it more meaningful, which is one of the important aims of adding uh, task-based. I mean, bite-sized activities into your classes. All right? There you go. Let me go back. So that was the reading, right? If you want to take a screenshot of this is the time. I am going to go to the next slide. All right, so take a screenshot of this so you can have the suggestions on how to add bite-sized tasks into your reading uh, lesson plan. Writing, tweet a comment or formulate a Facebook message. Use your smartphone to look up words and spelling in order to focus on accuracy. Use a large piece of paper, number two, to have a written chat with the person sitting next to you in class. Okay, that's nice. Because it's not just gadgets, it's not just internet, it's not just Facebook, but other things, right? pieces of paper. There you go. So tweet a comment, put it on Facebook. Okay, nice. So if it's reading, let's continue, right, in our book, and let's find the next writing activity in interchange level one. There it goes. I'm moving then to unit two, exercise one, two, three, four. Do you see any writing activity there? Let me know when you see a writing. Here, number six. A biography. Use your notes, okay, to write down your biography. Where can you write down your bio, or if it's not here on the book and not on paper? Where can you find it? Where can you find your I don't know, social network biography, right? Let's say Facebook, right? On Facebook, you need to write down your biography, right? Okay, so let's go to Facebook then. You know what? Let's go to a second blog. Not exactly Facebook, but I found this article, DLVR. I don't know how you would say that. It, right? So this is Facebook bio examples. Ideas to create a cool bio, right? So when or bio, right? When someone asks us what we do for a living, we rarely consider that writing. I am a teacher. I am this and this and that in a biography. But here on Facebook, we do, right? So these are some examples. So personal or professional. Well, in here, maybe students are going to just, if it's a very basic level, just focus on the tip, not in the description. Maybe you can just explain this, but focus on the general tip. Keep it brief and simple, students, right? How do you keep it brief and simple? Okay, 50 words, 20 words, 40 words, right? 150 characters, not words, right? Because 150 words, it's a page and a half, right? So be yourself. Don't try to fake it to be someone else and say you're uh, a Boy Scout or you travel to or do extreme sports and you don't. Okay, demonstrate your unique qualities. And then here you can find lots of information, right? So why are we moving to this other article or blog? Because after this, students can now go and say, oh, teacher, I read a blog about writing a cool biography on Facebook, right? So I already know what to do and how to do it. So when I go back to my activity here, I can follow the instructions from the article. Class activity, pass your biographies around the class, guess who each biography is about. What, instead of that, maybe project them on screen, all right? And show your Facebook profile, maybe. Why not your Twitter profile? If it's more professional, your LinkedIn, maybe, all right? There you go. So that will be another suggestion for the following language skill. So we're speaking about, we already spoke about reading. Now writing, take a screenshot of this one. Ready? 5 seconds. Take a screenshot of this suggestion. Ready? There you go. Thank you. Listening, okay. Listen and listen again to specific sentences in your favorite song. Okay, working with songs, I like that. Students like that. There are many websites where they can practice with the lyrics. your favorite song that you don't understand until you get it. Use your phone to look up the lyrics and then listen while reading the lyrics. Okay, excellent. Listen to a short YouTube video with your eyes closed. Then listen again, but this time watch it too. Is there anything that is clearer now? You can see. Sorry, is there anything that is clearer now? You can see the speakers. Okay, nice. So let's try to adapt this to your, uh, let's say, to your book. But now, guess what? We're going to use interchange level 3. All right? Interchange level 3 is the green book. Let me go here and show you the book. Here it goes. All right? So, for this example on listening, because they are a little bit, let me take a sip of this. Sorry. This is a higher level. All right? So now here's to this. And use other more challenging tools. And let's go to, let me see the unit here. Let's say unit 3. No, this is not the unit. Give me a minute. Listening. Here, I'm trying to find it. And you know what? I am going to go directly to the page. There you go. Found it. Writing. But you know what? Yes, I know this is writing, but I am going to use an audio, a listening from YouTube, just as the recommendations told us. Malala Joseph Sai. So here, what we need to do is write about a famous person. Who's Malala? Why don't we ask YouTube? Let me go here and share with you what I typed in. And I, on purpose, wrote here, who is Malala? Basic. All right, so this is the video that I have.
Malala Yousafzai is a female education activist.
Let me refresh. There it goes.
Malala Yousafzai is a female education activist who stood up to the Taliban, survived an assassination attempt, and became the youngest person ever to win a Nobel Peace Prize. Malala Yousafzai was born on July 12, 1997 in the Swat region of Pakistan to Zayuddin and Torfkai Yousafzai. Her parents were determined to give her every opportunity a son would have, starting with an education. But then in 2007, when Malala was around 10 years old, her...
There you go. It's just an example. But imagine the possibilities of asking YouTube, who is Malala? Who is, I don't know, any other actor, actress? It doesn't really matter if it's a politician or not, or social medias, I don't know. Who is Mark Zuckerberg? Who is Ellen DeGeneres? I don't know, whoever, right? So then we can go back to the book and say, oh, I heard about this famous person. Now I can write about this famous person and why that person is famous for. Why she became famous. Why, or what are his or her important achievements, right? And use this as a model so they can start writing, right? So maybe that is how students We'll be practicing listening, yes, listening, but the final product will be the writing, all right? So this is why I wanted to show you writing, but the real practice, the, the bite-sized learning activity is focusing on the listening, all right? Let's go back. Take a screenshot. This is your time. Take a screenshot of this slide, all right? Listening. So you can get these other two suggestions, all right? How about the next one? Interacting. Okay. Speaking, right? Prepare, rehearse, repeat your interaction just before and after it happens. All right. For this one, I am going to use intro level. Let me go to my presentation plus of my yellow book interchange intro. But you know what? I am going to use the videos here as resources, and I am going to play here video number 7. Here it goes. Why? Because I want to prepare, I want my students to prepare a conversation, a phone conversation, all right, with the description of their apartment, the rooms, maybe some furniture, I don't know, okay? So this is it.
It's your mom.
Hello. Hi, Mom. How are you? Oh, pretty good. I'm a little tired, but good. Sophia says hello. Yeah, it's nice. She's asking about her apartment. Yeah, I like it. Well, let me see. There are 4 rooms, the living room, the kitchen, and 2 bedrooms. Oh, and of course a bathroom. The living room? Well, it's really big. The kitchen is nice too. No, we don't have a microwave. We just have a regular oven. Yes, the kitchen is very sunny. There is a modern refrigerator. Just a minute. Jessica, is that you? It's Mom. I'm coming. What's going on in there? Hi, Mom. Hi. Hi. Good for you.
There you go. So here, they are actually practicing a conversation, right? A phone conversation, and they're getting ready. Maybe your mom, your relative is visiting you, so maybe that's a funny example, right? So they prepare, rehearse, repeat, because they have specific phrases on how to answer, how to explain, how to describe your apartment, right? So that was the Unit 7 video from level, intro level. Let me put it again here on screen. Here. And this is the Unit 7 as well. Let me put it on screen. Give it a minute. But it's not just the video, right? Not just the interaction and everything, but we can use it for everything. Let me show you what is the next skill here. We already had interaction, vocabulary, right? Put up post-it notes with the names of things all over your house. That's a very good activity. Every time you open the kitchen drawer, you'll see the words for what is spatula, tin opener, etc. Right? So now maybe let's check a unit where we are going to use this. It's exactly the same unit, unit 7. So let me put it on screen here. So we have the word power, right? Furniture. Listen and practice. And this is what students are going to listen and then repeat and then try to memorize the words, etc.
Page 46.
There you go.
An armchair. A stove. Curtains.
There you go. If we want to make it more meaningful, if we want to add this bite-sized learning, why not giving them a video where they can learn from, they can learn this vocabulary from, all right? I like this YouTube channel, which is here. House vocabulary, right? And this is learning with Vanessa or something. Let me play this for you. Let me refresh it, and there you go. Give it a, give
Expand
it
your vocabulary. Let's get started.
Let me refresh the website. Give me a minute. There it goes.
Hi, I'm Vanessa from SpeakEnglishWithVanessa.com. Are you ready to expand your vocabulary? Let's get started. Do you want to improve your vocabulary? Do you want to have fun? Do you want to see my house? If you answered yes, yes, and yes, then today you are in luck because I want to help you understand and use over 40 essential household words, expressions, and phrasal verbs. We're going to go around to each of the rooms in my house and I'm going to show you what's there and maybe what's not there, but what maybe is typically there in other American households so that you can use those words because in a
There you go.
step through the different things that I see. I'm going to name them. If they need any explanation, I'll try to explain them. And I hope that it will be helpful to you as you expand your vocabulary. All right, let's start with the fridge. Here's the fridge, or you can say refrigerator if you want to be, extra intense, but we often just say fridge. Pretty simple. On the top, you have the freezer. And my freezer's on top, sometimes freezers are on the bottom, or sometimes it's split down the middle and there's a freezer on one side and a refrigerator or fridge. During cups, in the US we use cups and tablespoons and teaspoons to measure things. A lot of people have these in plastic, but ours are cute little cats. And here we have some condiments that we often use when we're cooking, so we have them close by and handy. We just have honey, some balsamic, some chopsticks, some salt, some olive oil, and of course you can see I have a microwave. We just don't have it because we don't have a lot of space. This is an old apartment, like I mentioned, so there's a couple key elements. There's one more key element that you'll not see in our house that I'll mention a little bit later, but we have a toaster oven. A lot of people will have a regular table, even though we don't typically have coffee on it, but it usually just means that kind of.
There you go. So imagine students after watching this video, they can go back to your book and start working. So imagine all the vocabulary that you're going to come up with. Oh, there's this and this I have in my house. I have this and this. So little glasses, the table, I don't know, a closet, etc. What do you think? Let me go back to the slide so you can take a screenshot. Here it is. Ready, screenshot? There it goes. Grammar. Okay, when shopping, think about all the items you put in your basket. Are they countable or uncountable? This will be very, very nice, specifically if you go to supermarket and you say, well, some sugar, some butter, etc. I do not have a video or something on this grammar section, but take a screenshot of this like uh, grammar, right? So and think about the activity. That could be fun. Maybe students can record themselves. They can shoot their own video or just record themselves of voice note and say, "I am going to take uh, some juice or 3 apples." I don't know. There are actually some apps for grocery shopping that will be very useful in that case, right? So next, uh, pragmatics or practicing everything, all right? Take a screenshot of this one too. Reviewing recent text messages for ways to open a conversation, reviewing recent email conversation for ways to formulate requests and refusals right now. Let's practice something different. And let me relate this to a book, right? So maybe in a book we are speaking about uh, personalities. And for this, I am going to go to level 2. This is my interchange book level 2. And I have today in my class personality traits, correct? So, what do you think the most interesting activity could be for practicing personality traits online with their telephones? Maybe a personality quiz, right? There you go, personality quiz. So let's do it. All right, here. Which of these adjectives are positive, which are negative? Tell your partner about people you know with these personality traits. My boss is very short-tempered. She often shouts at people, etc. All right, disorganized, hardworking. But I found a page, I found this website that I really liked because it's here. 16 personalities. Let me zoom in a little bit. There you go. 16 personalities. You just need to register here, and for example, this will be my report. If I go to my profile, I just go here to your profile, and you'll get this website, right? But if you want to go more specific, I can tell you, oh, my result was, hi, Juan Manuel, I finished this test some months ago. It says, you are an assertive campaigner. Oh, what does that mean? It means that in different contexts, for example, this is the introduction, this is maybe a description to me, right? But I can explore my type in strengths and weaknesses, romantic relationships, friendship, parenthood, career path. It will give me my description on each one of these strands. And here I can have more or less what I am. Okay, I like that. I like that, all right? So here, seeking joy, what should I do according to my personality, right? Campaigners, other people with the same personality, maybe. Right here, you can find, oh, Quentin Tarantino, nice. Here, Will Smith, McBrien, Michael Scott, nice, right? Spider-Man, didn't know that. So, there you go. Here, excellent. Oh, how about career paths? Let me switch to a different strategy. Maybe here. When selecting a career, my type campaigners tend to find that their main issue isn't a lack of options. It's that there are just so many fascinating and worthy possibilities to explore. All right, it rings the bell. Okay, excellent. I'm interested in Paraguay. Let me see Paraguay. Here. There you go. All right. So it is very nice very nice quiz. If you could have access to the chat or someone can actually share this, I am going to put the link in the chat or just go to 16 personalities, right? 16 personalities and do the quiz. There you go. Then go back to your book and here. So imagine how rich this activity could be. Yes, teacher, my specific type of personality is I am an assertive campaigner. What? Yes, because in this area, the jobs, the careers, the friendship, and everything. I am this, and I would like to be like this. And some other famous people with the same personality are these and this and those and that. There you go. Isn't that interesting? So you just need to take your time to sort out the type of activity that you want to add. All right? There you go. I am aware of time and let's close, all right? Well, I was going to tell you to please do this personality quiz. Would you like to learn more about your personality? But I think that I would give you that as a homework. Let me put the website again here on screen and just type in 16 personalities and free personality test. 16 personalities. They actually send you an email and you can download your personality trait on PDF. It's very nice. This website is obviously, if you want to go premium, you have to pay, but the test is easy. I regularly make new friends. Yes, I agree. You spend a lot of free time exploring random topics. All right, yes, I sometimes, yeah, not too much, all right? Seeing other people cry can instantly make you feel like you want to cry. Definitely not. You often, and this is something that you would do as homework, right? You often make a backup plan for a backup plan. Yeah, that sounds pretty much like me. They usually stay calm. Yes, yes. I don't get that jumpy and pressured all the time, etc. So now, when you finish this, you get a result, and then go to your profile and check your results. Oh, okay. Check your results or explore all your all the information they can share with you. It's very interesting. All right. So every time you enter, it's personalized, so you get your profile, right? My reports, I can download my report, personal growth, career, relationships in PDF. Isn't that nice? Right? I actually have this suggestions, articles, and stuff. So now, how can this activity and this website and this information and reading can enrich your class? There you go. Let me go back to my slide and bite-sized learning happens inside and outside the classroom. Use any of the suggestions that I gave you inside and outside the classroom. It depends on you. It depends on your lesson plan. It depends on your time. It depends on the level of your students, on the interest. All right. Imagine you spend 10 minutes learning English every day. Only 10 minutes every day. What would you choose to do? Watch videos, listen to podcasts, use an app, using your book, all right? Having 10 minutes or less for learning something new every day it's a very realistic scenario in this modern world. I'm speaking about nowadays, specifically students, right? Many of our students have this limited time and they change from one activity to another. They multitask. Even when they watch television, They are on their telephone. They are watching television and they are on their telephones. Can you believe that? So, moreover, as an English teacher, you you might often uh, get this feeling of, yeah, I would like to acquire a new skill, but I don't have time. Right? So try to incorporate this approach into your teaching if you could. All right? I'm not much of a adding text, but I like this final reflection. The great thing about bite-sized activities is that they are ready-made and adaptable to various contexts. Listening and skills, right? Listening, speaking, writing, uh, uh, politics. We don't like to talk about politics in class, but food and places and personalities and bloggers and YouTubers and parts of the house. They can bring moments of engagement, creativity, and novelty to your lesson. And even more importantly, they provide a meaningful link to students' lives outside the classroom. A very meaningful way of learning. If you like this workshop, please, we would like to hear how we did today. Please visit us at this link. My name is Juan Manuel Perez. On behalf of Cambridge University Press and Assessment, thank you very much for having us today here, inviting us to this session. The name of the workshop is Bite-Sized Learning and Communication, if you would like to put that in your uh, in your survey. And you know what? Let me copy paste this on the in the chat. So maybe if someone could share this or you have access to the chat, it will be easy. Or just take out your telephones and pretend this is a bite-sized activity and finish, complete this survey, please. All right? That will be very, very helpful to us to know how we did and what other topics you would like to hear about. I am going to just leave it here in case you need some more minutes to complete this activity. We would really like to hear from you, all right? So I think it is a perfect time for Q&As, right? Questions and answers. Questions, please.
Hello, Juan Manuel. Let me introduce myself. My name is Leonardo Alfon. And well, I've been listening to your lecture. It was very, very interesting.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I find it fascinating to adapt the learning content to the current social context. I personally believe that with this, it is possible to capture all the interest of our students. So I want to ask you, I have a few questions about many of our students. One of these is, what's the difference between bite-sized learning and micro-learning? Are there the same concept or?
Yes, at the beginning of the session, we said that we can call it in three different ways. We can call it bite-sized learning, micro-learning, or speed learning.
Oh, speed learning. Okay, interesting. Do you have any recommendations for our students, the future teachers, about how to implement these strategies in their classrooms, and how can they begin to implement them, or what's the start point?
Yes, I would like to suggest the new teachers to focus on the topic, not on the grammar. Focus on the topic. For example, my class tomorrow is present perfect. My class tomorrow is simple present. The class tomorrow is simple past. No, instead of that, focus on the context and the topic. For example, tomorrow I am going to teach activities in the past. Tomorrow, I am going to teach personal experiences. Tomorrow, I am going to teach routinary actions that happen, blah, blah, blah. All right. So the moment you change that point of view to a content, to a topic, automatically it will be easier to find related content on the internet. Instead of finding simple past YouTube videos, no, maybe we're going to find narrating activities in the past. The perfect strategies, the perfect way to narrate a past event, telling stories. So maybe that's how we would relate it in a more meaningful way to add some of these bite-sized activities. That would be my suggestion.
Thank you very much. It was fascinating. So maybe we can continue. I went to left to be. I'm sorry. I went to. Sorry. I don't know why I feel so nervous in front of you. So thank you very much for your talk.
It's a pleasure. It's always a pleasure. Thank you for inviting us. And anytime, looking forward to being with you again in this type of event, I am sure. Oh, I have a question. How many teachers, how many new teachers are watching this session?
Actually, I hope so many because all our school are really new about this. So I don't have the exact number, but all of my students have been doing it.
Excellent, excellent. Well, thank you. Yeah. Well, happy teaching, everyone. Thank you very much for having us here.
It's a pleasure for me. See you later.
Thank you.